New Mail will help you.
Call New Mail Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
We are The Source, WOCA, news, talk, sports, and more.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala!
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. You know, we have a camera in the studio. And it really doesn't make much sense unless you have some attractive people in the studio. And we do right now. A handsome young man, a beautiful young woman, and they are going to be at the Ocala Civic Theater this Wednesday and Thursday. He is Johnny D. Johnny D and the Starlights is the name of his group, and he's here with Amanda Warren, who I understand is one of the starlets of the Starlights. I'll figure this out in a second. And this is a show that they're doing. It says, your time machine back to the early days of rock and roll, performing favorite songs from the 50s and the 60s. Kind of a nice idea, and it's here in Ocala, and what an affordable ticket. $16 for adults, $8 for students, and it looks like it's at 7:30 Wednesday and 7:30 again on Thursday. Johnny D, good morning. Nice to meet you.
Good morning to you, Larry. Nice to meet you as well.
There, now I hear you better. Okay, and Amanda, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
You two are good look. Are you a couple?
Yes, we are.
Oh, you are? Are you a married couple?
No.
No. Oh, I heard that laugh. That means one day?
No.
Oh, no, not yet. You've got a guitar with you?
No. She says no.
No.
Well, I guess.
That would change a little few of your plans, wouldn't it? Yeah. So what is Johnny D? What are we calling you again? Johnny D and the Starlights.
Johnny D and the Starlights.
What is that? Are there any other instrumentalists? Or
yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay,
we have upright bass. That's Mr. Abraham Couch plays the upright bass for us.
Okay.
We got a fellow by the name of Sean Bryant, who's very well known around the area. Longtime musician, songwriter. He plays a lead guitar for us and also is a featured vocalist. He's done Buddy Holly himself for a number of years, so I've learned a lot of my best stuff from him. And then we have Mr. Randy Cool on the drums. It's actually his last name. It's actually his last name.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, we couldn't even make up something.
You know, Buzz Aldrin's mother's name was Moon or something, right?
Yeah.
Is that a fact?
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Moon Aldrin. That's wild.
Well, I think Moon was her maiden name.
Probably right. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha.
She was Miss Moon before she married Mr. Aldrin.
What's her first name?
I don't know.
Going to the.
Going to the. Yeah, it was a Spanish name. Going to the. So how did you become? You're obviously young. So how did you become interested in the older music?
That's what I grew up with. My folks had an extensive vinyl collection, and they exposed me to. So much music growing up, mostly 60s
Where did you grow up? Where do you live?
I live in Orlando. I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then we moved down here when I was real young.
Okay, and how long have you been doing the the show you're doing right now?
Well, actually, the Legends in Concert show, we did the first one 2 nights ago. Now, I've done Buddy Holly a number of times. We did Buddy Holly, the Buddy Holly story, the onstage biopic.
Do you have the glasses? I mean,
yeah.
you do Buddy Holly?
Oh, yeah, we dress up.
Okay. All right.
Buddy, Roy, and Hank. We do full costume and everything for it. Yeah,
Wow.
it's something.
Wasn't Roy Orbison awesome in the Traveling Wilburys? Wasn't that?
Oh, yeah. That was a great
That was kind
group.
of a sweet finale to his life, wasn't it?
Oh, it really was.
Yeah.
To work with Jeff Lynne right there at the end. Jeff Lynne really understood.
Thank you for
what
saying
he was
that.
going through it. He's
a lot of
great.
people point out the other guys, Tom Petty and George Harrison. And
I'm a huge Jeff Lynne
Me too.
nerd, man. I
too.
love Electric Light Orchestra.
Wow,
one of my
isn't that-
favorite bands of all time.
wow, most people
You
always,
don't meet a lot of ELO fanatics, man. I'm glad.
most people just brush over Jeff Lynne's
They really
contribution.
do.
But
They
yeah,
really
I don't know
do.
why. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I think it's because of his studio prowess. He was so great in the studio. I think a lot of people
Absolutely.
maybe take for granted his songwriting. and his,
Very
his-
smart of you to say that.
Well, is it-
Plus, you can't tell what he looks like.
No, you have no idea.
No, it's got
Sunglasses and beard.
face, beard, hat. No idea what it looks like. So, are you both sing? So, Amanda, you sing in the show?
Yeah, I do the background vocals.
Okay, and how did you guys meet?
He directed a play. He writes original musicals as well.
Okay.
And he was doing one, and he cast me in it, and we met that way. And then the other starlet is Whitney Abel, and she's now she's married to
our
the
bass
upright
player.
bass player. And so we
Oh,
would,
really?
Yeah, we would go to all the shows and help him set up anyway. Anytime we could. And she's a theater performer as well. She's great. And then they started asking if we wanted to start singing backup
Nice.
vocals.
And so you're booking yourselves around, or
Yes.
I mean, how does this work? The theater calls you and says, "Hey, I heard about you," or do you call them and say, "Hey"?
We get calls. Some of the calls are for private gigs and things like that, which we do. But we kind of have come up in the community theater circuit as well. Amanda is the director of the YPT Young Persons Theater program at Bay Street Theater in Eustis.
Nice.
So we love community theaters as much as we can work with the community theater scene. We'll call them up and say, "Hey, we're a band and we do this," and immediately they're like, "Oh, rock band, I don't know." And then we explain to them, "Hey, no, we've done the Buddy Holly story twice now. We've done Hank Williams' Lost Highway. Both her and I direct musicals for Bay Street as well." So that once we have the conversation with them about who we are and what we do, we come in and we're self-sufficient.
So it's all acoustic. I mean,
No. It's a full rock and roll band.
Okay,
We go all in. Now Hank, of course, we do acoustic, but once we hit Roy, it's electric.
do you have a
guitars.
favorite of the artists you cover? Do you have a favorite?
I like them all for different reasons. Buddy's got the most energy. We kind of get to rock and roll with him. Roy is very challenging vocal stuff, so I get to kind of have some fun with that. And then Hank's just got the attitude, man. So we have a blast with all that.
But at the end of his set, he gets to do Johnny D, which is like his alter ego.
Yeah.
That's my favorite because he plays like all of the hits, but with his own personality on it, and it's great.
Okay, so can we say your real name or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so Johnny D is the name. Is like a character you created.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Your real name is Andy Matchett.
That's correct.
Okay. So and I didn't realize that Johnny D is an actual character. So
Yes.
right now, am I meeting Andy or Johnny?
Oh, this is Andy, right?
This is Andy.
Johnny D for the radio.
So Johnny D, do you have a different personality?
A little bit.
Is he,
A little bit, yeah. You kind of have to. I mean, Johnny D, I think of as almost like a guy that stepped out of a time machine from the 50s, and he was the guy that covered as close as he could all of the 50s hits, like back in the 50s.
Oh, okay. So
You
do
know
we,
what I mean?
as an audience member on Wednesday and Thursday, do we meet Johnny? Or
Oh
Andy?
yeah, Johnny comes out. He's
So
the
we don't meet you at all.
No,
You
don't
stay
need
in
to.
character the whole time. Oh wow.
Yeah, so you get Hank. Hank walks off stage. Roy comes back on.
Oh, I see. So you become all of these people.
Yes.
Do you girls have to change who you are?
Nope.
No. You just
Nope.
well, you
Find the way they are.
All right. So are we going to hear something? You've got a guitar.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to do a little medley of all three of them, if I could.
All right. And so as Johnny D, you're a songwriter as well?
Well, as Johnny D is mostly.
I mean, because Amanda said you write your own musicals.
That's under Andy Matchett.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Got a lot of personality.
All right. When you have children, their last name's going to be what?
Their last name is going to be Matchett.
Okay,
I
okay.
do. I have two children.
Oh, you do have two children?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
We both have two children.
Oh, okay. You're married and have children. Oh, you're not
not
married.
It's a long story.
He really want us to be married.
You have children from another marriage? No.
All right, everybody in Ocala, sit down. Let's explain.
All right, let's hear some music.
Yeah, sure. Well, I left my home down on the rural route. Told my pa I'm going stepping out to get them honky-tonk blues. Yeah, them honky-tonk blues. Oh, say now, Lord, I got the honky-tonk blues. Well, I got a woman mean as she can be. Well, I got a woman mean as she can be. But sometimes I think she's almost mean to me. Easy now. If you knew Peggy Sue, then you know why I feel blue without Peggy. My Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, girl. Yes, I love you, Peggy Sue. I love you, Peggy Sue, with a love so rare and true. Oh, Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, girl. Yes, I love you, Peggy Sue.
Nice. Very good job. Wow.
That's a great transition between them all.
So now Johnny D. When Johnny D comes out, what music does Johnny D play?
Johnny D does a little bit of Elvis, does a little bit of Dion. We do a little bit of Chuck Berry. Who else is on that list? Del Shannon.
Oh, okay.
We do the hits that everybody,
Okay.
Some of the one-hit wonders, and of course Elvis.
Have you played the Orange Blossom? What's it called?
Opry.
Opry. Have you played that?
In Wearsdale.
I just learned about
wonderful.
Oh, they would love you.
They would love you.
We would love that.
They would love that. That. It's an audience comprised, mostly of people from the villages. It seems like, or not exclusively, but it's packed. It's like 300 people. It's always packed.
Yep, 300 seats. Great
Well,
place.
for as long as we've been
everything.
doing this, we're just getting into where the venues are and the places where we should be. And
well, there's one suggestion. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
You wouldn't think it was anything in what's it called, Wearsdale?
Wearsdale.
You wouldn't think.
Wearsdale?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Orange Blossom.
30 years I lived around here. I know.
do you know who plays there? Rhonda Vincent plays there.
Mel Tillis.
Mel Tillis has played there. I mean, some big names. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you guys should be
Get
there.
him on the phone. Larry, call him right now. Let's do it. Let's do this on the air.
Let's see. We'll take a little break and we'll be right back. And don't forget, the show is on Wednesday and Thursday at 7:30 over at the Ocala Civic Theater. Sounds like a lot of fun. Are we giving tickets away to this? Do you know?
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yes, we are.
So we'll be doing that. All right. We'll take a little break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today with a thunderstorm in parts of the area, mainly during the afternoon hours over the interior. The high 86 on the coast, 92 inland. Tonight will turn out mainly clear with a low of 69 to 73. Intervals of clouds and sun tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 87 to 91. For Wednesday, sun mixing with clouds with a couple of afternoon thunderstorms, the high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
So you need a credit card, but how do you choose? Let's compare the big banks to Florida Credit Union. They have rewards, and we do too. They have customer service. Hello, 24/7. They have celebrities. Hey, Danny. But with Florida Credit Union, there's no annual fee, no liability for fraudulent charges, and no 22% interest rates. Choose Florida Credit Union, and you'll not only have a great credit card, but you'll have the support and personal touch that the big banks, well, can't touch. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Cozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Black Cow composted cow manure is a terrific organic soil amendment. We start with cow manure from dairy farms and then compost it a full 90 days. The result is an all-natural, dark, rich soil amendment that's great for everything you grow. Flowers, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and lawns too. Look for Black Cow in the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center.
Black Cow, the mature manure, Black Cow.
Who doesn't love heading out on the boat with a family, hitting the ATV trails with friends, or blazing new stretches of highway with riding buddies? Your toys are your ticket to outdoor fun. At the McDonald Allstate Agency, we get to know you and help make sure you have all the right coverages. Plus, when you bundle your coverage for your car and your home with your boat, motorcycle, RV, or more, you can save up to 30%. So call the McDonald Allstate Agency today at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations at Calla Hills or the Jasmine Square Plaza.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings figures.
All right, 11 minutes before 11 o'clock. In the studio is Andy Matchett, also known as Johnny D. He created a character named Johnny D. Johnny D and the Starlights will be performing at the Ocala Civic Theater this coming Wednesday and Thursday. $16 for a ticket. Nice. And there's how many people in the band?
Oh, geez, we've got a 6-piece band, I think it is. Yeah.
6-piece band. And Amanda Warren is here as well. Who's the other starlet?
Whitney April.
Whitney April. Oh, and she's...
it's Couch now.
Oh, yeah, it's Couch.
That's easier to say.
In a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's hyphenating, so it's Whitney Able Couch.
Oh, Whitney Able Couch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
When you choose your songs and you're out there performing in character, do you choose them as if the character is choosing them, or do you choose them as Andy to see what a good mix is?
Well, it's a little bit of both. It's a long show. So something like Crying by Roy Orbison, for example, we probably will keep that for a more abbreviated show, just because it's so intense vocally. We keep some of them in, like In Dreams and Only the Lonely. But yeah, I mean, that's the goal, is to get, all right, what would Roy sing if he only had 7 songs? You know, what would Hank do if he had 7 songs to show everybody what was going on? So yeah, it's a little bit of both. I love singing all of them.
So did you study them, their onstage personas, in addition to their music? I mean, in order to kind of replicate how they look on stage? Yeah,
how they look and sound and everything. Hank, they just released recently, actually, a bunch of old recordings from different venues and from different radio performances. There's not a lot of video, because we're talking about 52, 53 here. There's some Opry stuff, but most of it's voice. So I studied a lot of that. Studied a lot of the Roy videos. Roy mostly just stands there and kind of lets the audience come to him.
Right.
Whereas everybody else is kind of out there. Buddy was the one I studied first, because we did the Buddy
Was Roy Orbison blind?
I've heard that a few times. He wore prescription
sunglasses. I could never really determine whether he was blind or not. He looked like he was, but...
Well, no, that's one of the first things that my mother actually said to me when we were listening to Pretty Woman. She was like, "Oh, he was so blind, he wouldn't know a pretty woman if she slapped him in the face." And
really?
So I always thought of Roy like that, But I think he just had pretty bad eyesight.
But if she slapped him, he could say, "That hurt pretty bad."
Sure did. Yeah, I hope that happened at least once.
Will you also be touring with some of your original songs?
Well, yes. The original stuff, we pick times of the year to do it. We perform in Fringe Festival every year. Yeah, and we just did, I wrote and directed a show about Janis Joplin, starring a popular singer around here named Kaylee Baker. And we won a bunch of awards for that show just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Amanda here played Laura Joplin, her sister.
Oh.
And,
oh, really?
Yeah, we kind of tasked her with telling the story of Janis, and she did a great job.
We recently spoke to 2 people who knew Janis Joplin. One was
her road manager.
One was the guy from Jefferson Airplane, and then we had her road manager. He wrote a book about it. Also.
Right.
Oh, wild.
Right.
Yeah, I never really knew her that much. Just a little bit from the Woodstock days.
Yeah.
I never really knew.
Well, there wasn't a lot. I mean, she put everything into performance.
Yeah.
And I played Dick Cavett in the show. I kind of wrote
really?
a part in it. Wrote a part
Oh, really?
Myself, yeah. So we went back through the archive interviews, and that's where you get to know a lot about her. That's mostly when she talked about herself was on the Dick Cavett show.
Yeah,
a couple
right.
of scattered interviews.
Right.
Yeah, it was such a brief time period for her, unfortunately.
So give us help the audience understand what they will see when they show up at the theater on Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, they're going to pull in. They're going to get their seats. They're going to hear some lovely 50s and 60s rock and roll and jazz as they come in and set up. And then basically you hear an intro, and we just go straight into it. Hank Williams comes out, and you're going to start hearing the hits right away. And then basically it's just going to go seamless. And we have an intermission in the middle there between Roy and Buddy. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see Hank for a bunch of tunes. You're going to see Roy for a bunch of tunes, then Buddy.
So it sounds like you're the ringleader. It sounds like you're the guy who holds it all together. I see Amanda shaking her head.
You can say that. You can say that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So what is the biggest challenge of managing that many people? What's the biggest challenge?
Making sure they're there on time. There's a number of challenges. Thankfully, we've all been doing this together for a while now as Johnny D and the Starlights. Legends is new for us, but Johnny D's been around for a couple of years now. So I've found the best guys and gals that you could have on a team, and so there's challenges, but it's pretty few compared to a lot.
So
of stuff
you told us off there that there is no website yet, but you have a Facebook page. So I want the listeners to know that it's your name, Johnny D and the Starlights, on Facebook.
That's correct.
Do you know who Mary Jo Bailey is? Do you know that person?
That sounds real familiar.
Okay, well, she commented.
Okay.
And she comments as Yoda. I don't know if you know this.
Does she?
Because this is, well, it seems like it to me, because she went to your show at Mount Dora.
This is the one.
She went to the show at Mount Dora, and she writes, "Great show last night in Mount Dora. The aisles had us dancing in." That's the way Yoda talks, right?
That's Yoda's mom. Mary Jo. Mary Joda. We got her.
Did you find any resistance growing up when you wanted to go into music? Because sometimes when a child wants to go into music, their parents will say, well, that's good, but get a real job.
Well, I'll tell you, my folks have always been very supportive of that. I went to an arts high school, Dr. Phillips Visual and Performing Arts Magnet, where a number of folks have. There's a Tony Award nominee, I guess. I don't know if he won or not.
Really?
I haven't checked this morning, but he was in a class like 2 years younger than me, and another one who was a year older than me. So I grew up around it. My dad was always a big music fan, but neither of them ever played, and so they put me in piano lessons early on. But yeah, at some point in my 20s, it was like, okay, now what are you really going to do?
Right.
And I was like, no, this is what I do. So,
right.
And it took a little while. The original music, doesn't always.
So what was the aha moment for you when you finally said, "Here, this is what I want to do"? The aha moment would take you from what I want to do to how I'm going to do it. What was that? Like, how do you make money from this?
Well, it took.
I mean, you could end up on the sidewalk,
Yeah, absolutely.
For handouts and stuff.
Well, I worked a sales job for a long time, traveling. I came up to Ocala an awful lot, actually, on my sales route.
What were you selling?
I was selling truck leasing and rental.
Okay.
So like commercial truck rental, which was an interesting thing for a musician.
It's kind of like an Elvis thing. Isn't that like an Elvis thing? Wasn't Elvis driving a truck?
Something like that. And, Roy used to drive cars for Elvis.
Did he really?
Yeah, because he didn't hit until the 60s. When he went to Nashville at first, he used to drive cars for Elvis, which I always thought was hilarious. I would love to see that.
Do you cover Elvis at all?
Yes, absolutely. We do it. We don't do the Elvis impersonation. I feel like it's been done a lot.
Right.
I like to impersonate some of these other, not lesser known guys.
You should do a Jeff Lynne impersonation.
I would love to. I just get a fake beard, and it'd be a lot of fun.
Is he too? I mean, he's not new, but you've got.
We'd have to jump to the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, you have to jump up a decade or so.
Well, maybe we'll put together a 70s and 80s show for next year. I'll do Michael Jackson and Boy George or something.
There was a song that recently Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne co-wrote, "Free Fallin'."
Oh yeah,
and I never knew that Jeff Lynne co-wrote "Free Fallin'" with Jeff.
He produced all of his 80s stuff. Yeah.
And so they recently sued or threatened to sue, and they settled out of court. What was that song called again?
Was it the Sam Smith song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stay With Me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And isn't it weird? Stay with me.
Yeah.
Right. Free Fallin'. Both songs have 3 syllables, and that's the only 3 notes that really are the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Free Fallin', stay with me. Same three notes, and you make $1 million.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny when they played them together at the same time. You can hear it. I mean, it's the chord progression and everything is pretty direct.
Do you have anything else you can play, or
I could probably make something happen here. I think should I do Hank? What do you think?
What do you think they are?
Can we do something that Amanda sings with you? You could do some...
Oh, what do you think?
I can do I Saw the Light if you want to.
I Saw the Light? Let's do that one. That'd be great.
Okay.
See, I saw. Ready? All right, here we go. I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. I couldn't let my dear Savior in. And like a blind man, God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
Nice.
Ooh, yay.
That was pretty.
Early for that high
That was pretty. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like that's exactly probably what happened in radio stations when the guys you're impersonating were young. They probably went on stage just like this, just grabbed the guitar and started singing, and that's probably exactly how it sounded.
Oh, that's what we love about the era. I mean, now you got to have the computer going and the beats, and I don't want to sound like a grandpa here, but I mean, I feel that way. I'm like, there's no soul, there's no feel, there's no live, and that's what we want to hear more of. That's why we're doing this sort of.
Well, if there's ever like this war, this cyber war, and all of our computers die, you can still make music.
There we go. We'll still show up. Hopefully the microphones work though. That does help.
That part. Well, thank you for coming in. You both are a joy to have in the studio. Amanda Warren, thank you for coming in. We'll look forward to seeing you on stage. And Andy Matchett, better known on stage anyway as Johnny D. Johnny D and the Starlights this Wednesday and Thursday at the Ocala Civic Theater. Call the theater for tickets 236-2274. Go to their Facebook page, Johnny D and the Starlights. Thank you, Paul. That was fun.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Robin.
Thanks.
All right, we will take a little break. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. President Obama with another warning for Russia because of its ongoing presence in Ukraine. Speaking of the G7 summit.
Here at the G7, we agreed that even as we will continue to seek